We all think building a high-performing team is about hitting targets, but it's actually about something completely different. And in this video, I'm sharing the 5 game-changing steps I took to turn my team into a powerhouse and how you can do the exact same for your team. So hey, my name is Heather, and over the past 10 years, I've been a director of operations in a startup, one that we sold to a £2 billion corporate where I had a 100% team retention rate, managed 5 teams with huge success, and got all these crazy high management feedback scores. But before that, I was managing a team of 8 people at 21 years old. I was riddled with imposter syndrome, constantly seeking approval, and I was just a pretty crappy manager. But I managed to turn it around. I did it the hard way, pushing through those tough conversations, all the moments that I wanted to quit. I rebuilt myself as a leader, and in doing so, I transformed my team and my career at the same time. So in this video, I'm sharing the 5 powerful steps that helped me transform into a leader that my team could trust and thrive with. Steps that can inspire you to build your own high-performing team and achieve incredible results. Step 1 is listen properly. As managers, we love the sound of our own voice, but we need to be quiet more. We cannot create an inclusive culture unless we make people genuinely feel valued, heard, and supported. And the most powerful way to do this is through regular one-on-one check-ins. Not cancelled, not letting our team down, but having a regular session in the calendar every 2 weeks. These sessions are a chance to go beyond the surface level conversations and to dive into your team members' challenges, aspirations, and ideas. For example, Satya Nadella, the ex-CEO of Microsoft, transformed their company culture by prioritizing empathy and curiosity. And in one of his first moves as CEO, he prioritized listening intently to employees at all levels and asking questions like, "What's holding you back?" and "How can we empower you more?" His commitment to understanding people at a deeper level laid the groundwork for Microsoft's growth and innovation. And in your one-on-ones, make it clear that this time is for your team members, not for you to micromanage, not for you to just check in, but to actually help them to grow and find clarity in their work. When they feel they've got a safe space to discuss all their challenges with you, you will notice a shift in their confidence and in their performance. Step 2, make ownership your best friend. High-performing teams aren't made up of people waiting for instructions. They are driven by individuals who own their work, you included. So start by asking team members in those one-on-ones what they think their top priorities are. Just a simple question like, "What do you think your top priorities are?" really helps them reflect on their own responsibilities and shows that you trust them to know their own role. A great example of empowering ownership comes from Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo. She believed in giving her team the autonomy to tackle big challenges. Nooyi once said, "You need to let people do their job and not interfere too much." By creating an environment where her executive team, her leadership team felt empowered to make these decisions, she inspired huge levels of creativity and accountability across the entire organization. So as you guide your team to get them to become high performing, resist the urge to just solve all their problems for them. Instead, you need to coach them through the challenges. Ask them questions like, "What do you think the blockers are? What do you think the solution to this problem could be?" After all, they are the expert in their role, not you. And when team members actually own their own work, they also take pride in their successes. They are so much more likely to push towards hitting those numbers and to really care about what they're doing. So overall, giving them this ownership fuels motivation for them to perform at a higher level. Step number 3 is stop being nice, start being kind. Now, you might hear me bang on about this all the time, but being nice is essentially working for approval. Being nice to someone is not giving them the difficult feedback because you don't want to hurt their feelings. The Google definition of being nice is literally to be pleasant, agreeable, and satisfactory. We've been told our whole lives if we don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. But when we're in a leadership position and we move into building this high-performing team, we have to let go of that and start being kind instead. Being kind is very different to being nice. It means being the person who is willing to give the difficult feedback, even if it hurts that person's feelings in the moment, because you know in the long run it is going to help grow them. So we need to stop being so nice at work. Feedback is one of the most powerful tools we have as a leader, but it requires a careful balance. A really great concept to bring in here is Kim Scott's concept of radical candor. It combines 2 crucial elements, so we've got caring personally and challenging directly. Caring personally means showing genuine concern for your team as individuals. Caring personally is about understanding their goals, motivations, and challenges so they feel valued and respected. Then challenging directly is about being honest and clear, even when the conversation might feel uncomfortable. When we avoid tough topics or even use the shit sandwich for feedback, it does a disservice to your team. We have to address issues head on. For example, if someone's missing a deadline, you might say, "I've noticed your deadline's slipping and it's impacting the project timeline. Let's discuss what's going on and how we can fix it." We're offering them support while still holding them accountable and never ever ignoring that difficult conversation. However, we love to give the negative feedback all the attention, but we actually need to give positive feedback attention too. Make space to celebrate those small wins. Acknowledge progress, highlight individual contributions. For instance, if someone handles a really difficult client very well, you just take a moment and say, "You navigated that situation brilliantly and it really made a big difference." One of my coaching clients, a senior leader at one of the biggest corporates on the planet, once said to me, she wished when she was a junior, her boss would have praised her a little bit more and let her know she was doing a good job. We always need to be very careful about ignoring praise because it is one of the things that will keep your team motivated. So by combining honest feedback and genuine appreciation, you will create a culture where people feel supported, respected, and empowered to grow. And step 4 is to support their boundaries. Your team will grow into a strong, high-performing one when you as their leader respect your own boundaries and promote independence in them too. Check in on how they're managing their workload, encourage them to set clear limits when needed, help them to prioritize properly. And I know when we say no to something, maybe it's declining a meeting or saying no to working after hours, when we set a boundary, it most likely will upset people, especially if they don't have that boundary set already. But here's the thing, when you set those clear boundaries, it might not earn you that short-term approval, but it will 100% earn you the long-term respect. When you value your own time, when you are able to prioritize, we want to encourage our team to manage their priorities based on their capacity and goals. We have to trust them to make decisions within their roles, because over time, this not only reduces your workload, but also helps them grow into capable, confident decision makers who can solve problems on their own, even if it means kind of letting them fail every now and again, not always jumping in to rescue them. Step number 5 is the principle of progress. Now, the word motivation literally comes from the root word of motive, which means to move forward. When we want to keep people motivated, we have to keep them moving forward in something. And if that can't necessarily be with salary or moving up job title right now, we need to make sure they're moving forward in their work somehow. The only way we can do that is if we know their goals by speaking to them and make sure they find a sense of purpose in their work that helps to drive that motivation. So there's one-on-ones we spoke about earlier. Use the insights you get in those sessions to identify each team member's strengths and areas for them to grow. Then you as a leader need to create opportunities for them to stretch their capabilities, find ways for them to tap into their strengths and make them even better. Get every single one of your team on an individual basis, pushing towards their own goals because it will help the company at the same time. I want you to consider the story of Sheryl Sandberg, COO of Meta, and how she aligned her team's development with the company's mission. So she believed in pushing her team to take on challenges outside of their comfort zone. She once encouraged a team member who doubted her leadership abilities to take charge of a major project, even when she didn't feel ready. But with coaching and support, the employee not only succeeded, but discovered this huge newfound confidence in her skills. And I do this with my team now. I try and give them projects that feel just a little bit out of the edge of that comfort zone, but it really helps them to grow and develop. The only way you can build a high-performing team, you can win as a leader and your team win as well, is when everyone is growing at the same time. Everyone is motivated, everyone is moving forward. So whether it's by coaching team members to develop new skills or finding ways for them to lead new initiatives, we need to align their growth with these shared goals, figure out what those goals are, and get them moving forward in them. By you showing that their success matters as much as the organization's and as much as hitting those KPIs, you will build a team that is not only high performing, but also just really deeply engaged and gives a shit. So to round up, to build a high-performing team, we need to let go of micromanagement. We cannot be solving every single problem for them. We have to bring in these ideas of trust and empowering them, an unwavering belief in their potential. You have to truly see your people, champion their growth, and challenge them every single day to rise just a little bit higher. while standing by their side every step of the way. And when you genuinely invest in their success and hold them to a standard of excellence too, you can build more than just a team that's ticking off tasks and hitting KPIs, but you can actually inspire a movement. That's exactly what we did. So try these 5 steps and watch your team transform into a force of confident, self-driven individuals who don't just meet those expectations, they actually just shatter them. If you got this far in the video, chances are you're going to get a lot of value using our Know Your Team playbook. It's a one-to-one system that I use that runs seamlessly to understand my team so we can continue to challenge and fulfill them at work. It is completely free to download. There is a link in the video description, so go and check that out, and thank you so much for watching.